All right, so these are my 5 tips for traveling Costa Rica on a budget. Let's waste no time, dive right into it. Tip number 1 is to stay in the cheapest hostels. What'd you think of this room?
You know, it has cobwebs, mystery slithering things, ants everywhere, which I could deal with the ants.
Yeah.
A bed that undresses itself.
It's a good way to describe it. There's a sleeping pad for
and a broken toilet. But it does flush, which is an upgrade.
Upgrade from the last one, right?
So I am okay moving forward from this room.
Okay.
Those things don't really bring me comfort.
Fair.
Spider webs blowing in the wind.
Yeah. They might not always be pleasant, but it's a great way to save some money, and they're really not that bad. Tip number 2 is to cook your own food. If you're eating out at like a Western style restaurant in Costa Rica, a standard plate of food is going to cost you probably about $15 on average. You could go down to as low as $5 a meal if you're eating a casado, which is a local Costa Rican dish, which is basically beans and rice primarily. Or you can simply go to the grocery store, cook that food at your hostel, and end up spending around $40 to $50 per person per week on food in Costa Rica. Then you have more money to spend on the good stuff. Just kidding, just kidding. We didn't actually get those, but that leads perfectly into the next tip. Tip number 3 is that partying is expensive in Costa Rica. Costa Rica ain't no Vietnam where you can find 50-cent beers around every corner. A beer at a grocery store is going to cost you about $1.50 for a single can at a grocery store, and you can get one at a bar for around $3.50. Any name brand liquor that you're familiar with, if you're from the US, is going to cost you about twice as much in Costa Rica. That is everything except for cacique, which will leave you feeling like you got ran over by a freight train the next day. So I'm not saying don't party. Anyone that knows me well would know I would never say that, but partying will definitely run up your budget. And if you want to stay in Costa Rica for an extra month or two, taking out partying is like one of the easiest ways to do that. Tip number 4, tours are expensive in Costa Rica, so choose wisely which ones you want to do. There's going to be abandoned boats in the water that you can go and explore. Last but not least, tip number 5 for how to save money in Costa Rica if you're trying to travel Costa Rica on a budget is to take the local transportation. The local buses can actually get you just about everywhere you need to go in Costa Rica. If you go to your hostel front desk and you tell them you want to get from where you are to the next city, they're always going to suggest a shuttle. But just tell them, no, I actually want to save some money. How can I do that on a bus? And they're typically going to be able to point you in the right direction of how you can do that exact same trip on a bus for less than a quarter of the price. This is a really good way to save some money. I actually came across an instance in Costa Rica where a hostel was trying to tell me that I had to take a shuttle from A to B, which was going to cost me $160. And I ended up being able to do the exact same thing by taking local buses for about $20. So these tickets were super cheap. They were 475 colones. That's like less than $1 a ticket. All right, guys, those are my 5 tips for traveling Costa Rica on a budget. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It helps my video and channel out a lot, and consider subscribing to my channel to see the rest of my travel videos. I'm no longer in Costa Rica, but I'm currently in the US renewing my passport, and I'm going somewhere right after I get it back. I'm not gonna tell you guys where that is yet. It's just gonna have to be a surprise, but I have so much travel planned in the next couple of years. You guys definitely wanna hit that subscribe button. All right, see you later.